Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently holding for further traffic clearance.
Check out Kristen's new website, MagicalJourneysVacations.com, for all your vacation needs. Disney, Universal, cruise lines, and more.
Thank you for traveling with us.
MagicalJourneysVacations.com. Have her book your magical vacation today. WDW After Dark presents Disney Discussion, a roundtable panel.
Thanks again for pressing play on another edition of WDW After Dark, your weekly show that delivers you news and commentary, and this time Disney discussion. Aljon Go, joined by Jeff Davis and Kristen Hetzel, and today we're going to discuss a very controversial topic. Kristen, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Princess Jasmine's new costume.
Okay, Jeff, I thought this was a hoax. I thought it was just something that someone was using to clickbait us into checking out their blog, but it is not. It seems to me like it is absolutely legit. It was reported legitimately from our friend Ricky Bergante inside the Magic.
Yeah.
One of his writers, Corian Anderson, had posted this September 5th, just the other day. New outfits. Okay, new outfits for Disney's Aladdin and Jasmine at the parks. I'm going to go ahead and screen share this so you can check it out. Give our friend Ricky over there at InsideTheMagic.net a visit. I will show this to everybody right now. Look at this. So, Corinne posts a picture of the brand new Disney and Disney Aladdin and Jasmine. And it says, Friday during Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party at Magic Kingdom, Princess Jasmine meet and greet changed her previous two-piece costume. Jasmine is now dressed in a one-piece pants and dress combo that gives the character some more coverage, which could have been the reason for the change. Rumors point to complaints from a number of guests with Jasmine's very revealing outfit, while others say it's just part of the costume redesign that previous Disney princesses in the parks have received. During the weekend, Aladdin also received a new outfit, something much more ornate and detailed. The change has happened to both the characters at Epcot location at Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and here you can see the Instagram post. You can see a before and after of Jasmine, and there's Jasmine in her two-piece, which is very similar to what she would wear in the animated classic. And then you also had the new look, and then you'll see a picture of Aladdin and Jasmine in there as well from various Instagram accounts. So the question is, yay or nay? Are you about this? Oh, someone hit the fail horn. Is it a pass or fail? What is the reasoning behind this? Let's first start with Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff. Since you happen to hit the sound horn.
I don't see the big problem here. I mean, it's obvious to me that this is a more, what's the word do I want to use here? Appropriate approach for a Disney princess that kids are going to be seeing. Because let's be honest, these days kids know a lot more than what we used to know way back when it comes to things in life. And I'm sure that a lot of parents found it inappropriate because their children do know about these types of things. And you parents know what I'm talking about when I talk about kids knowing things. They hear things in school a lot earlier than what we used to and everything else. And I think Disney was just shooting for a more elegant and formal look for Jasmine than what we were used to. What we were used to seeing was her with Aladdin. He was in, his street clothes, and she was in her lounging clothes, I guess you could say, at different parts of the movie. This was more something that she would wear to the ball, or what she wore in the final scenes of the movie when they got married, and scenes from when he was Prince Ali, and the genie singing the song and everything else. He was dressed more in this type of fashion. So this is more of a royal fashion for her, basically. The people who were probably out there yelling and screaming, complaining and everything else, oh, this is wrong, the color is wrong, the material is wrong, it looks like a costume from, Party City and everything else. They grew up with the Jasmine that we know from the movie and the costume that has been on her for how many years now that we've seen her like that? I can't remember what year Aladdin came out in theaters. I don't remember, but this is for the newer generation kids and everything else. I really don't have a problem with it. It's not that big of a deal to me. It's still Jasmine. The wig doesn't look all that great. Could probably use a little bit of work on that. Otherwise, I'm good with it. I don't care.
For the record, Aladdin is 1992.
Okay, so yeah.
4 years she's been wearing that same costume.
Yeah, so that's what everybody's used to. So naturally, your big time level 5s are gonna be in an uproar. 9 times out of 10, do you even see Jasmine when you go to Walt Disney World? No, you don't. It's change, and people hate change when it comes to Disney, and that's just the norm. That's just the way it is. In 5 or 6 years, nobody's going to care. Not even 5 or 6 years. A couple of years, nobody's going to care as to what she's wearing. So
okay, well, I will, for the sake of argument, show you the end scene of Aladdin. Here is a scene, the final scene, and you can see here Aladdin's kind of more formal outfit and Princess Jasmine in her outfit here. You can see it's still showing the midriff there, Kristen. Can you see that?
Yep.
So, and there it is. So I'm trying to see there it is. So
there
if people are looking for the other version of Jasmine's outfit, which is not the I Dream of Genie costume, then there you have that, just for the sake of argument.
Right.
Thank you for that analysis, Jeff. Kristen, how about you? What do you say about it?
I'm not a fan. To me, it's one of those things, if you want to do it for like the Christmas party or Mickey's Not So Scary, and you're going to have them dressed up for those events, I have no problem with it. They do the same thing for Beauty and the Beast. At Christmas time, she's in her little Christmas gown, and she's dressed in a formal gown, during the Halloween party. So that's one thing. But every day, I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be hearing this, I believe, before you hear WDW Teak Room, but I was able to talk to a few of the Disney Dorks, Disney Dork community about it, Deanna and Vicky of the Disney Dorks, and they were not big fans of how this was, and I thought it was really important to get a female perspective because, after all, it is a female character, and yes, for many years, the character of Jasmine was one where it was very I Dream of Genie. It, did sport that midsection, much like Ariel from The Little Mermaid was very scantily clad, even for a G-rated cartoon. And mind you, okay, it's a G-rated cartoon, okay, so. And it's and of course those same people could also argue that a PG-rated film like Return of the Jedi with Slave Leia is also not appropriate these days. And my question is, what is appropriate? My question is, what is appropriate these days? And this is, and what we're led to believe by reputable sources, not only reported by Daps Magic, but of course Inside the Magic, is the fact that this was a change made possibly due to guest complaints or concerns. Is Is that going over the line? Is what's going on here? Is that people being overly sensitive, Kristen?
Yes. Like I said, she's been wearing this costume for 24 years. If you don't like the costume, don't look at her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff? Overly sensitive? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Definitely overly sensitive.
You said maybe it didn't matter to you, perhaps, but is it just a little bit too politically correct for your taste? If they did kowtow, or if they were trying to appease a certain complaints that they had. Well, I will say complaints. I'm not, we don't know, we don't know, because there's a couple things. First of all, Jeff, Chris and I live here in Nashville, Tennessee. And you can walk into a Kroger market store, supermarket, and walk in where they will have a Cosmopolitan where everything from the letters of the title will be cropped and covered with a black piece of plastic so people cannot see what the cover girl looks like or the cover model looks like on a Cosmopolitan. Is that correct, Kristen? Tell me if that's not correct. Cosmopolitan magazine.
I don't think Cosmo does that.
Well, they used to. Okay. There used to be certain things on covers of magazines, whether it was Stuff or FHM or Cosmopolitan or whatever, where they would have to cover it up on a family newsstand or something of that nature. And this is Nashville, Tennessee. I haven't seen one in a long time, but it doesn't mean that they did not exist 2-3 years ago. Now, people still in the Midwest here in the United States, or more rural areas, is this the case maybe with your neck of the woods where you are in your neighborhood, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't see anything like that where I live here in South Mississippi. But I mean, it's in this day and age that we live in, where our children are exposed to now every walk of life, no matter what it may be. And parents don't have any trouble talking with their children about things they may see or things that they hear about or anything else. They're educating their children. This is why this, and this is why this. For them to complain because Jasmine is showing her belly button, and let's be honest, that's really all it was, Jasmine showing her belly button, is ridiculous. Why are you sitting there complaining when you're teaching your children other things that are even more inappropriate than just the belly button, the midsection of a costume? Let's be honest. And like I said, I'm not going to bring political views into this, but that seems a little petty to me. And you're not practicing what you're preaching to your children, apparently, if you're complaining about it.
Right. So, believe it or not, a whole firestorm has come about because of this recent revelation, this recent introduction of this new costume. And so I'm curious to what our listening/viewing audience has to say about this in regards to this new costume. And I would read some comments. However, my computer is not allowing me to scroll properly. Can
we list a few other Disney characters who may have questionable, according to some, outfits as far as characters go at Disney that we could possibly see another change of?
Absolutely. So let's talk. Well, let's look at Aladdin and Jasmine for one. Okay. So here is a look of the classic Aladdin and Jasmine that you see at the park, and I wanted to make sure that I found our little picture, because I mean, Kristen and I have had our picture, and Jeff, maybe you had too, with Aladdin and Jasmine on many occasions.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom. So there is one. Now, what other character would you like for me to look at next? Probably the other princess in that same era, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So The Little Mermaid and Ariel has always been a target for scantily clad everything. Now, even in the marketing of her toys and dolls, she is depicted in this way. So let's take a look. at how Disney markets Ariel. So here is a look at the lovely Princess Ariel. Purple seashell bikini and green fins.
Yeah.
That is it. Kristen, are you offended by that image?
Nope, she's a mermaid. What's she supposed to wear? She lives underwater. I mean,
And
the last time I checked, nobody went swimming with their clothes on.
so, like Kristen said, she's a mermaid, and that's how mermaids look. Isn't Jasmine wearing in the outfit she previously had what was traditionally worn in that country during that time?
Oh, and well, let us see. Okay. I'll let you all discuss because I'm going to look up this information. But go ahead, continue the discussion.
I mean, all I see with Ariel is the belly button and a seashell bikini top. That's what I see.
I mean, she'd look really stupid if she had a shirt and a pair of pants on in the water.
Yeah. So if they're going to go and they're going to say, well, you know, parents are going to say this is inappropriate for Jasmine to wear this. I don't want my children seeing this, blah, blah, blah. Then I would ask those parents, are you taking your child over to see Ariel in Fantasyland? They're in her grotto. And what is she wearing? She is wearing a bikini top. She's got her fins. And what is she showing? She's showing that midsection.
For just a thing I'm looking up right now, I'm looking up a more modern day Moroccan style, which is 2015, 2016 fashion. This is what popped up. So this is more along the lines of what you are seeing at the parks at this time. Do you see that? Beautiful Moroccan.
Yeah.
You know, there you have it. And you know, I did not type in beautiful Russian women, Romanian girls. I did not type that. Okay, folks. That just came up on my search engine. But you see that this is the stuff that comes up in the
Modern.
fashion sense. It's more modern,
Yeah.
kind of fashionista kind of stuff that Moroccan fashion is wearing at this time. Traditional clothing, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to look up this before I get into trouble.
But I would think that in the era that is depicted in the movie Aladdin, I am sure that what she is wearing is probably more towards the traditional sense for back then.
Right, and it would be. I mean, these are all offshoots of more traditional Moroccan wear, which, by the way, you can see at the Moroccan Pavilion at Epcot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you're looking at more Moroccan, traditional Moroccan fashion, this is what we're looking at here. Now, can you see that right there?
Right.
That is what they deem as more traditional Moroccan wear. And there you also have it as well. Very colorful, of course. It does not show a lot of that. However,
what about the belly dancer in the World Showcase in
okay,
Morocco?
So that is a little bit different.
How is that different? It's still a female and still showing her stomach. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Right. So this is the type of the belly dancer outfit, which is very similar to what everyone can see at Morocco. Okay.
Oh, that looks awfully familiar.
Doesn't that look familiar?
Yeah.
It should look familiar because that's her. So.
I mean, I don't see them, throwing fruit at her to go change her clothes or anything. You know, I don't see them complaining about that.
Yeah. So once again, this is what you used to be able to see. There.
You can still see it. The Moroccan band that's back there in Morocco, they do have another dancer up there wearing the same type of stuff.
Yes. So this is at the restaurant Marrakesh, Kristen's favorite restaurant in all of Disney, right there. Typical, the typical stuff there. I think a lot of the outfit inspired that Jasmine is inspired to wear was actually very similar to the Moroccan belly dancer / also I Dream of Jeannie. Everybody remembers Barbara Eden in the role of Jeannie. I think that if you're going to represent the film, I think that Disney does have a responsibility to also pay tribute to the film. But how are you able to pay tribute to the film when you're also trying to take in consideration today's sensibilities? Because I know that Marvel has made sure that scantily clad characters are more appealing to women today and the way they're viewed. However, they can change that narrative in the comic books rather easily. The next issue, Spider-Woman has a brand new outfit. In the next issue of Ms. Marvel, she has a brand new outfit. Black Widow has a brand new outfit. You know, those things can be easily fixed in terms of a comic book and in an animated series moving forward. You know, Ahsoka on Star Wars can change from having a different outfit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
However, an animated classic who's about 25 years old at this point, if not older, how do you do that? Can you do that? Should you do that?
I'm going to say no. Because are we changing Peter Pan's outfit? No. It's still the way it is looked and represents what the character looks like in the movie. And any other Disney character, really. Princess Tiana, Cinderella, Snow White. All of these characters have had the same type of outfit that represents what was in the movie itself.
Take a look at the original mermaids that Disney concocted for Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the inspiration behind Ariel. Okay. Look at that.
So what is the difference between all these other characters staying true to what they looked like in the Disney film and Jasmine looking the same and wearing the same? What's the big difference? Why? I mean, I don't have a problem with it. She can wear what she wants. It's still Jasmine to me. I don't care. But I don't understand why. I don't understand the thinking behind it. You know.
Yeah. It's an interesting situation for sure, and I think that Disney should try to remain faithful to the depiction of the characters in the park. I don't.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. Yeah, it's hard for me to. It's just hard for me to say, oh look, okay, we're going to change either to be more politically correct or to be more faithful to the actual traditional dress, but it's not depicted in the movie. And I think more importantly than the adults thinking about this, it is actually what the kids and kids that don't equate that look with that character, what they think of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not authentic to. It's just not authentic, and I think that kind of breaks. That kind of will disappoint maybe younger park goers, don't you think?
I do, and I think this is an area where Disney got it right. What I'm about to suggest and tell you. Take a look. Somebody's doing something over there. I don't know what they're doing, making all kinds of racket. Anyway, take a look at the character Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, okay? We all know the way that she looked in the original that Disney did himself, okay? And that look has stayed true to the Disney parks, whether it be Disneyland, Disney World, or anything else, for as long as I can remember. Now, when the live-action film Maleficent came out with Angelina Jolie, a little bit of a different look when it comes to Maleficent. Some things were very similar. Some were not. But did Disney parks go and change the way the character looks, in parades, the villains' dessert parties and everything else? Still looks the same. Mm-hmm. It has been depicted that way a few times, but it has stayed true to what Disney visioned. Mm-hmm. Well, Disney Imagineers and Disney animators envisioned Jasmine to look like this, and I think that's probably why it should stay like that. It's like Kristen said, if you don't like it, don't go to meet her and go somewhere else.
There are some comments, and I did read them, and so let's discuss a couple of these comments, and we'll wrap up this section of the show with our own summary. So Jamie, who says, horrible, horrible, horrible. I can't believe they took away such a classic look and replaced it with this trash. Jasmine is hardly recognizable anymore. It actually looks like something you'd find at Party City. This definitely isn't the best quality that Disney offers, that's for sure. Oh, wow. Olivia says, this is terrible. The new costume looks nothing like Princess Jasmine. The color is off. The fabric looks cheap. What's up with the wig? I'm so disappointed. Bring back the old authentic costume. Frank just simply says, yuck. Sue says, Aladdin looks like a drum major for the Agrabah High School marching band. And Jasmine looks like she just joined the FLDS polygamous cult. Oh boy, horrible.
Wow, that
wow. Is wow, right? And then, all right, JLG says, I do not know why anyone would complain. Princess Jasmine's costume was appropriate for where she's supposed to be from. People see much more skin at a beach. I do not think there's anything improper about the original costume. Please bring back the original costume. Some people complain just to complain. They are not happy unless they cause distraction for the multitudes. I'm sure you did not have that many complaints, if any, to validate changing the costume. And Roddy says, poor Jasmine, she suffered the case of a nasty PC virus. I wonder if Disney will re-release the movies with a digitally enhanced outfit. Which they can if they wanted to.
They could.
Caitlin, yeah, Caitlin. And notice that a lot of these comments happen to be from females.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin says, I do not like this new costume. It looks cheap and simple. I understand if Disney wants to be more modest. However, they should have just made the top longer then. I think that's a good point. You know, Jasmine does have a good point, yeah. Jasmine does have a cover up that she does wear when it is cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
Tabitha says, who thought it would be a good idea to give Jasmine a weird bangs? David B says, the cast member playing Jasmine has to stand within the groping distance of park visitors, and I imagine she felt extremely vulnerable. Ask yourself which version you'd feel better about when you have to saddle up and hug hundreds of strangers every day. I suspect that long ponytail wig is also an easy target for disrespectful guests.
Okay, stop right there.
Yeah,
stop.
Okay. Let's stop with Kristen. Kristen first. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Kristen.
Okay, I'm sorry, but when you apply to work, you audition for those jobs. It's not like you didn't know that Jasmine was going to be showing her midsection. You know, and this is one thing I don't like, this whole kind of like, you know, women should be covered up kind of mentality at all. I don't like that. Why is it okay? Like, men are allowed to go mow the yard without a shirt on. Why is that okay? But if a woman shows her stomach, somebody can go complain about it. Oh, she's showing too much skin. Excuse me?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
if the
just took the words out of my mouth.
Uncomfortable, yeah. You know what? There's a lot of other Disney characters out there that you can play that are well, you know, clothed. If playing Jasmine makes you uncomfortable, then don't audition to be Jasmine. Audition to be Aurora. You know, audition to be Mickey Mouse. Something else that covers you up. But that to me is if that was the case, that would be ridiculous. And I'm sorry, but if I was going to play Jasmine, I would absolutely know that there is a potential for some men to get a little touchy because it's just going to happen at some point.
With any Disney character that you dress up as a cast member, you will always have people touching you. I want a hug from Mickey. I want a hug from Daisy. I want a hug from Ariel. And you're going to have the guys gawking, you know, oh my gosh, wow, look, oh, can you see that? Oh, I bet this, and blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen. So like Kristen said, find another job. Do something else with your life.
There's plenty other characters you can be.
Yeah.
And you have to specifically audition for particular characters. So it's not like Disney said, hey, oh, we're going to hire you and you're going to play Jasmine, and she had no idea. You have to audition for each of those roles.
That's right. Yep.
She auditioned to play Jasmine.
That's true.
So I can't say if that was a reason, that was a good reason. At that point, then yeah, asked to play another character. Go audition for something else and don't be.
Especially compared to some of the outfits that you see people wearing these days that expose so much skin just on a day-to-day basis when they go just to pick up milk at the grocery store, you know. You see all kinds of stuff. Don't complain because you're wearing a Jasmine outfit that shows your midsection and shows your belly button. Oh, God.
Some people just wear swimsuits to the store. This happens.
This is true. It happens. It happens.
Is it the right thing? No, not always. And probably, definitely not, but it does happen.
Yeah.
It is an interesting thing. I question the validity that is reported in terms of customer complaints. I simply say that it may be a change for it may be a change to not just modernize the costumes, but also demonstrate a more real life application of these type of costumes to reflect the more modern day we live in, as well as the maybe more of a fashion thing. And if that's the case, of modernizing and not being offensive or dehumanizing to women in some way, I can understand it. But let's say it for what it is. Let's not blame it on a customer complaint. Let's not blame it on maybe the unspoken, which is maybe something that is racially insensitive. Let's simply say that the parks are going to a more realistic version of said costumes. But that's not the movie. It's not the movie, but maybe that's the point that they're.
She's not Jasmine anymore. Then she's just somebody who wants to be like Jasmine. I'm sorry, but when you don't put Jasmine in Jasmine clothes, she's no longer Jasmine. Mm-hmm. She has to wear the clothes as they are in the movie. To me, otherwise you are not that character anymore.
If Disney were doing a live action version of the movie, and this was the outfit that Jasmine was wearing, then I can understand them switching it.
Exactly.
Because they want to associate. Kids are going to see this brand new live action movie. We want to associate that with the character in the parks, and that's why you make the change. Not for some other reason, and not because of complaints. Doesn't make any sense.
Right. At this time, I do not see Jasmine entering. I do see Jasmine coming into ABC's Once Upon a Time. Okay, so FYI, one of ABC's top-rated shows, Once Upon a Time, as you know, reimagining the various Disney and Brother Grimm stories over the course of centuries, right? Is introducing Princess Jasmine on Once Upon a Time, according to EW, and this was posted actually several weeks ago on July 23rd on EW, and it says that now we know that they've had Aladdin in the past. They've had the gentleman that played Jafar Ohed Fear from Covert Affairs, who played the Jafar in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland that happened a few years ago and was canceled. But we do know that Jasmine is supposed to be coming on this season along with Esmeralda and Pocahontas, I believe, over the course of the year on Once Upon a Time. We don't necessarily have an idea of what she looks like or what she may dress up as.
Yeah, because if that's one of the reasons, that's a pretty lame excuse from Disney to go and change the way a character looks from what was the original and what is so very popular in association with that character. Just for Once Upon a Time, give me a break. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I could go on and read more of the comments, but I'd be curious to what you all think. Regarding this big change. I didn't look at the Sorcerer Radio Disney Fun Zone. I don't recall them posting it in the Fun Zone. I don't
remember seeing it in there.
I'd be curious to see what people think of that. So at any rate, feel free to tweet us, to write us. Any closing thoughts regarding this? And for you all, I'm going to leave my closing thoughts last. So go ahead, folks. Any closing thoughts, Jeff?
Leave it the same. Change it. I don't care. But do it for the right reasons. That's all I'll say.
All right, Kristen.
I think she should be portrayed the same as she is in the movie. They should be authentic to the character and not changing her to fit whatever their logic is with changing it.
Right. And I believe if all the princesses are going to be depicted in a certain way, and they need to make sure that the rest of the styling is more realistic and have some type of tie-in with the film. So if they don't want to show all of Jasmine's belly, hey, look, I get it, okay, but let's extend it, let's change it, but let's not completely ignore the fashion of the film. Let's make sure that it's a good tribute and not one where people say that is a poor haircut, that is a poor wig, that is a poor costume choice. Let's make sure that the colors are nice. Let's make sure that they match an expectation level. If you want to make more ornamented outfit, then so be it. But there's a good way of doing it and there's a bad way of doing it, and I don't think this costume, as my grandmother was a wedding dress designer, she would not have done this. She would not have built this dress. I know that for a fact. She would have made an awesome dress.
I would be interested in what people from Morocco have to say about it. If you're from that country or from that descent, I'd be very interested. If you're a big part of that culture, what you think is it a good representation of your country and what women wear there and everything else? I'd be interested to hear that.
You know what? When we go down, I can ask some cast members exactly what they think of this brand new Jasmine, and we'll take an informal poll and we'll get back with you on that.
There you go.
All right, very good. And once again, for me, I really want that authenticity, but I really also want them to pay homage to the film. I think there are certain expectations that need to be met, not just for young people, but for all people that want to get their picture taken with a real-life Disney character, right? When you see Snow White, you want her to wear the costume from the film, the animated feature, the Disney film. That's why you go to a Disney park.
Yeah.
When you get your picture taken with Rapunzel, she needs to have that look. When you get your picture with Genie, the Genie needs to have that look. Now when Genie comes, he's going to look like he's not even dressed up to party in comparison to the other two that are going to be there.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast is very much the same way it is animated-wise. You got the big furry beast, you got Belle in the blue apron, everything is good in the world, right? So let's keep that authenticity going with Disney. And let's do it, like Jeff said, for all the right reasons. We're going to wrap up the show for today. I'm curious what you think. Feel free to hit us up over social media, WDW After Dark Webcast on Facebook, WDW After Dark on Twitter. You can even send us an email, if you will, wdwafterdark@gmail.com. Jeff, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me over on YouTube, just right below me right here, youtube.com/DavisJR75 if you want to check out my vlogs over on YouTube. Also, send me a tweet at JeffDavis_75. Listen to DW60 on Sorcerer Radio Thursdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time for the latest in Walt Disney World news.
Kristen, with the brand new book, tell everybody about your new book and where people can see and pick up that book.
Well, they can find the book at diningatdisney.com. You can buy it from there for just $9.99. It is the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival 2016 Dining Guide. It has more than 200 full-color pages with over 100 photos. So lots and lots of information in it to help you plan, your festival days. Okay. And then you can find me on all social media at Dining at Disney, except for YouTube, where it's the Dining at Disney. And don't forget to subscribe to the Dining at Disney podcast.
Very good. Be sure to check out JediMouseketeer.com for more great geeky news and videos from the world of Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars. Also check Kristen and myself out on our sister show, WDW Tiki Room, on Sorcerer Radio Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. for the replay as well. WDWTikiRoom.com, WDWAfterDark.com, JediMouseketeer.com for everything else. So thank you so much for tuning into the program on behalf of everyone here on the show. Don't forget, it's better after dark. We'll catch you next time.